For 300 years, the Empire's fleet had been the shield of the galaxy. Every world trusted it. Every enemy feared it. The fleet was huge. Hundreds of warships, bright engines, silent power. People believed it could never fall. But tonight, something strange moved in the sky. Commander Rhea stood in the main defense tower, watching the fleet return from patrol. Everything looked normal. The ships traveled in perfect formation. Their shields were full. Their signals were strong. But still, something felt wrong. The air felt heavy, like a storm was hidden above the clouds. Then the tower lights flickered. Rhea frowned. The systems were never supposed to fail. She checked the screens for errors. Nothing. The ship still looked peaceful. Then it happened. The entire fleet went dark in 3 seconds. First one ship, then 10, then all 400. Every engine shut down. Every signal died. The formation broke apart like falling stones. People in the tower gasped. Some stood. Some stepped back. No one could understand what they were seeing. Then something moved between the dead ships. A small black craft. Silent. Smooth. Slower than a drifting leaf. It didn't show on radar. It didn't give any heat. It didn't match any known design. But the moment it passed near a destroyer-class ship, the massive vessel bent inward, like invisible pressure crushed it from all sides. No explosion. No fire. Just quiet collapse. Then another ship folded. Then another. And another. The fleet fell without a sound. Rhea felt her throat tighten. The Empire's strongest force, gone in seconds. The tower officers began to panic. Nobody had any idea what the black craft was. Nobody even knew if it had a pilot. And the worst part? It was not leaving. It was turning. Slow. Steady. Directly toward the planet. Rhea felt a chill run through her spine. Whatever the craft was, whatever destroyed the fleet so easily, was coming down. Coming for them. Commander Rhea pushed through the crowded defense room, ignoring the shaking voices around her. Officers whispered in fear. Screens blinked red. Warning alarms flashed across the walls. But Rhea kept walking until she stood in front of the main display. The dead fleet now drifted like silent ghosts. Large ships floated with broken shapes. Smaller patrol craft spun slowly, powerless. Some ships were crushed into strange twisted metal, like something unseen had wrapped around them and squeezed. Rhea forced her voice to stay calm. Restart long-range sensors, she ordered. Already tried, an engineer said, sweat on his face. They're not responding. Something is blocking everything. Then run manual scans. We can't. Even manual systems are frozen. Rhea stared at the black craft. It was small. Too small to be a threat. No wings. No engines. Its surface looked smooth, but also alive, like black water holding a shape. It moved slow. Too slow to be dangerous. Yet it had destroyed the Empire's greatest strength in moments. How did it do that? Someone whispered. No one answered. The craft turned gently, pointing its front toward the tower. The air inside the room felt colder. Even the screens flickered again, as if the craft was affecting the planet's systems from space. Rhea clenched her fists. Do we have any surviving ships? She asked. Only one escape pod, an officer said. It's drifting near the debris. Get it. Now. Minutes later, the pod was brought down to the surface. Inside was a single survivor, Lieutenant Heron. His face was pale, his hands shaking. Rhea leaned close. Tell me what happened. Heron swallowed. It never attacked. What do you mean? It never fired anything. No weapons. No energy blasts. No missiles. Nothing. His voice trembled. It just moved near us, and our ship collapsed from inside, like something pressed on our minds, and then on the metal. Rhea felt her heart sink. Pressed on your mind? Heron nodded slowly. I heard something. A voice. But it wasn't speaking. It was pushing, like it wanted us to break. The room fell silent. A voice? Inside the mind? Rhea looked back at the screen. The mysterious craft was now entering the atmosphere, leaving a long black trail behind it. No fire, no heat, just darkness. Alarms began to scream across the city. "Commander," an officer shouted, "it's heading straight for the capital." Rhea took a breath. "Prepare ground defenses," she said, "and alert every civilian to take shelter." "But our weapons." "I know they might not work," Rhea said, "but we won't stand here and do nothing." Outside, the sky changed color. Clouds twisted as the craft descended. Birds fled. The wind stopped moving, as if the air itself was scared. The people of the capital looked up at the black shape falling toward them. No one knew what it was. No one knew why it came. No one knew if they would survive the next few minutes. But Rhea stood firm in the tower. Whatever was coming, she would face it, even if the sky had already broken. The city shook as the mysterious craft broke through the clouds. A long dark trail spread behind it, like smoke made of shadows. People ran through the streets, buildings flashed emergency lights, and sirens screamed across the capital. But inside the main defense tower, Commander Rhea focused only on one thing: the survivor. Lieutenant Heron sat on a medical bed, blanket around him, still shivering even though he was not cold. His eyes kept twitching, as if he was seeing things no one else could see. Rhea stepped closer, her voice steady. "Heron, I need you to tell me everything you remember. Every detail." Heron swallowed hard. "I already told the medics. I don't know how to say it again." "Then say it slowly," Rhea said. "The entire capital is in danger. Anything you say may help." He closed his eyes. For a moment, the room was silent except for the distant rumble of the craft approaching the surface. Then Heron spoke. "We saw nothing at first. No ship. No light. Just a feeling." "A feeling?" Rhea asked. He nodded. "A pressure. Like something was waiting near us. Something watching." Rhea exchanged a glance with the chief engineer, who looked confused and scared. Heron continued. "Then the black craft appeared out of nowhere. Not like it jumped from hyperspace. More like it was already there, but we only noticed it when it wanted us to." Rhea felt a cold chill. "What happened next?" "It moved close to our ship," Heron whispered. "No sound. No engine trail. And the moment it reached us, every metal surface began to bend inward. The ship screamed, but there was no heat, no warning. Just folding." He raised his shaking hands. "And then I heard it." Rhea leaned forward. "The voice." Heron nodded. "Not a voice like a person. Not language. More like a command forced inside my head." He tapped his forehead. "It said nothing I could understand, but it felt like an order. A strong order. Like it wanted me to break." The medic beside him frowned. "Are you saying it used some kind of mind attack?" Heron looked at the medic with fear in his eyes. "It wanted to crush my ship. And us." Rhea felt her stomach twist. "Why didn't it kill you too?" Heron shook his head. "I don't know. Maybe it didn't see me. Maybe it didn't care. Or maybe," he paused, voice trembling, "maybe it let me live on purpose." The room went silent. Outside, the tower windows shook as the craft came lower. A deep vibration rolled through the city, like thunder coming from underground. Rhea straightened. "We need to know what this thing wants." The chief engineer checked his console. "Commander, the craft is slowing down. It's scanning the city. How many weapons are ready?" Rhea asked. "None," the engineer admitted. "Every cannon, missile launcher, shield system, all offline. Something is blocking everything." Rhea's jaw tightened. "Then get me a visual on the craft." The screens flickered, then showed the craft descending between two skyscrapers. Its black surface reflected nothing. Not light, not fire, not even the glow from the buildings. It looked like a shape cut out of the world itself. People ran below it, shouting, falling, grabbing children and elderly. But the craft didn't speed up. It moved slow, almost gentle, as if it didn't need to rush. "Where is it going?" Rhea asked. The engineer zoomed the screen. It's heading toward the old landing courtyard, near the Central Archives. Rhea froze. The Central Archives. The place where the Empire stored its oldest files. Even forbidden ones. Heron suddenly sat up straighter. Commander, the voice I heard. I think it was searching for something. Not someone. Something. Rhea turned to him. What's something? I don't know, Heron said. But when the pressure hit my mind, I felt an image. Not clear. Like a memory that wasn't mine. He pressed his temples. A symbol. A circle with 3 lines. It kept repeating. Rhea felt a shock run through her. A circle with 3 lines. She had seen it before. In old classified documents. Very old. Before she could speak, the tower alarm blared again. Commander! An officer shouted from the far side of the room. Ground cameras show the craft is landing now. Rhea looked at Heron one last time. Stay here. Rest. We're not done. Heron grabbed her wrist weakly. If it breaks inside your mind too, don't fight it. That made it worse for us. Rhea didn't answer. She rushed out of the room with her officers, running down the tower stairs toward the landing courtyard. Every step shook as the craft touched the ground. The city trembled, lights flickered, and a loud humming sound spread through the air. People watched from windows. Soldiers gathered with useless weapons. The sky grew darker, even though it was midday. Rhea reached the courtyard wall and looked down. The black craft sat in the center like a fallen shadow. Its surface moved, like breathing. And then, a crack formed on its side. A door. Slowly opening. Rhea stepped forward, heart pounding. Her soldiers aimed their powerless rifles. Whatever was inside was finally coming out, and the Empire was about to learn why the fleet died. A cold silence spread across the landing courtyard as the black craft's door opened. Commander Rhea held her breath, her eyes locked on the widening crack. Soldiers behind her stood frozen, guns raised even though all of them knew the weapons would not work. A soft mist drifted out from the craft. Thin, silver, and strangely calm. It didn't move like smoke. It floated like it had its own mind, choosing where to go. When it touched the ground, the stone tiles shifted slightly, as if reacting to something alive. What is that? A soldier whispered. Rhea didn't answer. She stepped closer, her step slow and controlled. She wanted to run forward. She wanted to run away. She wanted answers, but fear stayed close behind every thought. The crack widened further. But nothing came out. Instead, the ground shook. A deep pulse pushed through the air. Not a sound. Not light. More like pressure inside the skull. Every soldier felt it at the same time. Some cried out and covered their ears. Others dropped to one knee. Rhea felt a sharp sting behind her eyes. Her vision blurred. Her chest tightened. Something was speaking inside her mind. But it was not words. Not sound. More like a heavy vibration. Forming symbols, images, feelings. The message wasn't meant for humans. Rhea gasped and grabbed her head. The symbol Heron described suddenly flashed inside her mind. A circle with 3 lines, repeating again and again, growing brighter each time. She tried to pull away from the pressure, but it grew stronger. Across the courtyard, people screamed and collapsed. Soldiers dropped their rifles. Some fainted instantly. Only Rhea stayed standing. Barely. Then, as suddenly as it began, the pressure stopped. The mist pulled back inside the black craft. The crack in the ship sealed. Lights across the courtyard flickered back to life. Even the wind finally moved again. Rhea fell to one knee, breathing hard. What was that? A soldier asked weakly, holding his head. Rhea forced herself to her feet. A message, she said softly. But it wasn't for us. Then who was it for? She turned her eyes to the craft. Something older. Before the soldiers could ask anything else, the ground sensors came alive again. Screens inside the tower lit up. The surviving officers reported sounds and readings returning. The entire city's network surged with data. And every device displayed one thing. The same symbol Rhea saw in her mind. The circle with 3 straight lines. The symbol glowed on every screen, every panel, every hologram. Even the city's street signs flickered with it. People across the capital panicked. Some thought it was an attack. Others thought it was a warning. But Rhea knew the truth. This symbol was not sent to them. It was a signal looking for something. Or someone. A message from the craft suddenly appeared on the tower's main screen. Not letters. Not numbers. Just the circle symbol pulsing slowly, like a heartbeat. Rhea stared at it. The chief engineer ran inside with shaking hands. "Commander! The signal is spreading beyond the planet. It's jumping across satellites, relay towers, deep space beacons, everything." "How far?" Rhea asked. "Across the entire empire," the engineer said. "Maybe even beyond." Rhea's jaw tightened. "So this thing is calling out." "But calling what?" a soldier asked behind her. Rhea didn't answer. Instead, she walked back toward the courtyard, eyes on the black craft. As she stepped forward, the craft reacted. A thin ring of blue light appeared around it, like an eye opening. It wasn't threatening. It was alert, watching, waiting. Rhea felt the same pressure again, softer this time. Not painful. More like a question pushing lightly against her mind. She closed her eyes. The symbol flashed behind her eyelids. The circle. The 3 lines. Then something new. A shadowy shape. Huge. Distant. Moving beyond the stars. Rhea stumbled back. The signal wasn't a threat. It was a warning. She opened her eyes, heart racing. "This craft isn't attacking us," she whispered. The soldiers stared at her. "So what is it doing?" the chief engineer asked. Rhea looked toward the sky. Dark clouds twisted like they were afraid of something rising far above them. The air had changed. The world felt smaller. "It's preparing," Rhea said. "And it wants us to know." Before anyone could ask what she meant, another shockwave hit the ground. Much stronger than before. The sky tore open with a blinding flash. Lightning struck without sound. The entire city vibrated like the planet itself was frightened. Sensors across the tower screamed. "Commander!" an officer yelled. "Something just arrived at the edge of the system." Rhea steadied herself. "What is it?" The officer's face turned pale. We don't know. But it's bigger than anything we've ever seen." Rhea looked at the black craft. It wasn't the danger. It was the alarm. And the thing coming toward them was the true threat. Inside the defense tower, alarms kept echoing through the walls. Officers ran between stations, shouting updates, their voices filled with fear. But Commander Rhea ignored everything around her. She walked straight toward the archives elevator. She knew where she had to go. The symbol flashing across every screen, the circle with 3 lines, was not new. She had seen it before. Hidden deep in old classified files. Files that even most commanders never knew existed. The elevator doors closed, and Rhea pressed the button for the lowest level. A level only a few people in the Empire had permission to enter. As the elevator descended, the lights flickered. The whole building trembled. Something massive was entering the star system. But Rhea stayed focused. She needed answers before the entire planet was swallowed by fear. The elevator opened into a long, silent corridor. Dust covered the floor. Old lamps glowed faintly. Doors lined the walls, each marked with warning signs. Rhea walked until she reached a large metal door at the end. Level 0 Archive. Forbidden Records. She placed her hand on the scanner. Red lights scanned her face. Then the door slid open with a slow, heavy sound. Inside were rows of ancient data cases. Old metal shelves. Dusty screens. Nothing here had been touched in years. Rhea went straight to the back, to a locked black case. The same symbol was printed on its surface. A circle with 3 lines. Her heartbeat quickened. This was no normal archive file. This was the Empire's secret. She opened the case. Inside were recordings, reports, and a small cube device glowing faintly blue. Rhea loaded the first file onto the old screen. A shaky video appeared. It showed a group of early Empire explorers standing in a dark cave on a distant planet. The camera shook, capturing strange markings on the walls. The same circle symbol, carved again and again. A voice from the recording spoke. We found ruins far older than any known civilization. The technology here is impossible to understand. The walls respond to touch. The energy inside is alive. Rhea felt her stomach twist. The next file loaded automatically. This time, the explorers had taken objects from the ruins. Floating cubes, metal spheres, a strange black shard. One explorer spoke with excitement. With this technology, the Empire can rise above all others. No enemy will be able to face us. Rhea watched the last part of the recording, where everything went wrong. The walls of the ancient structure shook. A loud humming sound grew. The explorers ran, but the cave began to collapse. Most of them died. Only one survivor made the report. His final words sent chills down Rhea's spine. We have stolen from something far beyond us. If they ever return, they will destroy everything we built. The recording ended. Rhea closed her eyes. The Empire had stolen the technology that became the foundation of its fleet. The weapons, the shields, the engines. All of it came from this forgotten race. A race that had vanished long before humans appeared. But now, something from that race had returned. Not to claim back the technology, but to warn them. Rhea opened the next file, labeled Forbidden, Do Not Access. When she clicked it, the screen showed a star map. A vast region far beyond the Empire's borders flashed red. The narrator's voice spoke calmly. Our scientists believe the ancient race left because of a threat greater than anything in known space. They fled. They hid their technology. They erased their worlds. Another file showed a message from the Empire's founders. If this signal is ever reactivated, it means the threat has awakened again. And we are not ready. Rhea stepped back from the terminal. The black craft wasn't the ancient race. It was their alarm system. A guardian. A messenger. And the thing arriving in the star system was the same force that once destroyed them. The ground shook again. Harder this time. Dust fell from the ceiling. Sirens wailed across the city. Rhea rushed out of the archives and rode the elevator back to the tower. When she reached the control room, every screen displayed a huge dark shape entering the edge of the star system. It was enormous, larger than the Empire's capital station. What is that? Rhea asked. No idea, the engineer whispered. But it's not a ship. It looks alive. Rhea turned toward the courtyard camera. The black craft was glowing now. Bright blue lines pulsed across its surface, as if it was waking up. Preparing. Heron's voice replayed in her mind. It let me live, on purpose. Rhea finally understood. The ancient alarm wasn't calling its creators. It was calling the enemy. The thing that once hunted its race. The thing returning now. And the Empire stood directly in its path. The city's air felt heavier with every passing second. People in the streets stared upward as the sky darkened. Not from clouds, but from a huge shadow moving far above the atmosphere. It stretched across the horizon like a silent beast, slowly rising into view. Commander Rhea stood at the defense tower window, staring at the shape. It's bigger than the entire fleet, she whispered. Commander, an officer said, voice shaking. Whatever that thing is, it's heading straight toward us. But Rhea wasn't looking at the giant shape anymore. Her eyes moved to the courtyard camera feed. The black craft, the alarm messenger, was waking up. Its smooth surface rippled like water struck by wind. Blue lines crawled across its body, glowing brighter each second. The air around it trembled, humming with strange energy. Then, with a sound like cracking stone, a second opening formed on the craft's side. The soldiers near the courtyard stepped back, raising their rifles even though they knew the weapons were useless. Commander, should we evacuate? A sergeant asked. No, Rhea said. We stay. We watch. We learn. Something moved inside the new opening. A tall figure stepped out. It walked slowly down the craft's ramp. Calm, steady, with no fear. It had a humanoid shape, but its skin was pale silver, smooth like polished metal. Its eyes glowed faint blue, not bright, but soft like moonlight reflected on water. The soldiers froze. Hold your fire, Rhea's voice echoed through the courtyard speakers. Do not attack. The figure reached the ground. The moment its foot touched the stone floor, the entire courtyard vibrated, not from force, but from energy spreading outward. Lamps flickered. Fallen leaves lifted into the air, floating like weightless dust. The figure lifted its head and looked directly at the tower, straight at Rhea. Even from far away, she felt it. A presence inside her thoughts. Not painful, not hostile, but searching. Rhea stepped away from the window, heart pounding. The elevator doors opened behind her, engineers and officers rushing inside the control room with new reports. Commander! The large object entering the system just sent a pulse. What kind? We don't know. But our satellites are gone, blinded. Another screen flashed. Commander! Another officer cried. All outer colonies lost signal. Fear filled the room. But Rhea raised a hand. Quiet. She turned toward the courtyard feed again. The silver figure stood still, waiting, as if it knew she was watching. Then, slowly, it raised one hand. A wave of energy spread across the courtyard like a silent ripple. Every weapon the soldiers held turned off instantly. Power armor shut down. Communication earpieces went dead. The figure was showing something. Not aggression. Control. Rhea took a deep breath. Patch my voice to the courtyard. The engineer nodded nervously. You're connected. Rhea stepped forward and spoke, her voice steady. Who are you? The figure didn't move at first. Then a soft pulse glowed from its chest. A voice echoed across the courtyard. Not shouted, not loud. More like a calm whisper carried by wind. You walk paths that were not yours to walk. The soldiers shivered. Some glanced at each other in confusion. Rhea leaned closer to the microphone. What is the thing entering our system? Did you bring it? The figure lowered its head slightly. No. The single word sent chills through the room. Rhea tried again. Then what is it? The figure raised its hand toward the sky, pointing at the giant shadow now visible even from the tower's windows. The one you fear is the one we feared. The courtyard shook as the shadow grew larger. People screamed in the distance. Buildings flickered. It felt like the entire planet was sinking under the pressure of something unimaginable. Rhea clenched her fists. What does it want? The figure's voice deepened slightly. To finish what it began long before your kind existed. Rhea's heart dropped. The soldiers around the courtyard took steps backward, fear rising like smoke. The figure turned its glowing eyes toward Rhea again. You humans used the tools of my creators without knowing the cost. The giant in your sky hunted them. It destroyed their worlds. Rhea swallowed hard. Your creators, the ones who built your craft? Yes. Where are they now? The figure's eyes dimmed for a moment. Gone. Rhea felt a cold wave pass through her chest. Gone. Wiped out completely. The figure continued. They built guardians like me, and alarms like this craft. We were meant to warn any who touched their relics, to tell them to run. But the Empire built weapons with those relics, Rhea whispered. Yes, the figure replied calmly. You took pieces of their power, and the monster that destroyed them has sensed its own technology again. Rhea stared at the sky. The shadow was now sharpening into shape. Long, sprawling limbs, a body larger than any moon. And now it is coming, the figure said. The courtyard fell silent. Rhea exhaled slowly. Can we stop it? The figure lowered its head. No. Then why are you here? The figure stepped forward, placing one hand on the ground. The stone beneath its touch glowed blue, lines spreading outward like roots of light. Because what comes cannot be fought, it said. But it can be escaped, if you choose to listen. Rhea stepped closer to the screen. Tell me how. The figure looked up. The storm above the city split open with a roar. We must leave this world, it said, before the end arrives. The battle above Earth had become something no one could understand. The Empire's fleet, once proud and unstoppable, was now burning in silence. Their warships floated like broken metal islands, drifting without power. But even in this chaos, the strange craft stayed untouched. Not a scratch, not a mark. It hovered calmly, as if the laws of war did not apply to it. General Ryan stood in the command center, watching the screens shake with static. Every few seconds, they tried to scan the unknown craft again, but every attempt failed. It was like the ship did not exist on any system. It was visible to the eye, but invisible to every machine. Colonel Mira broke the silence first. "Sir, that ship is ignoring the fleet. It is moving toward Earth again." The room tensed. Toward Earth. After destroying the Empire's strongest units? What did it want? On the main screen, the mysterious craft drifted closer. It moved slowly, like it was choosing every meter with care. No sound, no lights, no signs of life. Just a calm, cold presence. Ryan whispered, "It's not attacking. It's observing." Mira shook her head. "Or preparing for something." Down in the debris field, Captain Aiden's shuttle struggled to stay functional. Systems flickered. Alarms screamed. Yet Aiden kept his eyes locked on the glowing craft. "That thing, it didn't defeat the fleet," he murmured. "It erased them." His co-pilot, Dana, stared at her trembling hands. "No weapon can do what it did." "Nothing we know." Aiden corrected her quietly. "No weapon we know." The mysterious craft suddenly stopped. Complete stillness. And then, something unexpected happened. A small section of its hull opened. Not like a door. Not like a hatch. More like a ripple, as if the metal itself had become liquid. A perfect circle of darkness formed in the center. Dana gasped. "Aiden, is that an entrance?" "It's inviting us," he said softly. "But why us?" "That's the part one don't like." Back in the command center, Earth's leaders watched the same moment. Mira swallowed hard. "Sir, we can't let our people get close to that. We don't know what it wants." Ryan shook his head slowly. "Maybe it wants to talk. Maybe this is the only chance we get." Everyone stared at the screen. Aiden's shuttle drifted closer to the craft. Slowly, carefully. No alarms. No lasers. No movement from the unknown ship. It just waited. Aiden spoke into the mic. "This is Captain Aiden. We are the only human craft near the opening. If it wanted to destroy us, it already would." Ryan replied, "Captain, this is a high-risk decision. You must not." But Aiden had already made up his mind. "Sir, humanity has seen what this ship can do. If it wanted war, Earth would already be gone. Maybe it wants something else." The shuttle moved toward the dark circular opening. The entrance did not glow or hum. It was pure black, like a hole in space. Dana whispered, "I feel like it's watching." "I know," Aiden said. Inside the black circle, there was no light, no structure, just emptiness. Their shuttle drifted in, and as soon as they crossed the threshold, everything changed. The shuttle stopped without stopping. Motion froze, but they could breathe. They could move. But the ship was suspended in place like a photograph stuck between seconds. A voice echoed, but not through speakers, not through air. Came from everywhere and nowhere. "You came. Good." Aiden looked around, confused and tense. "Who are you?" The voice responded with calm precision. "We are the ones who built what destroyed your enemy. We are not here to harm your world." Dana whispered, "Then what do you want?" "To prepare you." Aiden frowned. "Prepare us for what?" There was a pause. Long, heavy, cold. "For what destroyed us?" Aiden's heart stopped. "Destroyed you?" "Yes. We escaped with one ship. The craft you see." Aiden felt a chill run through his bones. "You mean something worse than the Empire exists?" "Much worse." Outside, the strange craft glowed brighter, lighting up the dead warships around it. The galaxy felt quieter, heavier, as if holding its breath. Aiden whispered the one question no one wanted to ask. "What is coming?" The voice answered without emotion, without fear. "A hunter of galaxies. A force that consumes species. A power your enemy feared. And we ran from. It followed our trail." A pause. "And it has found you." Earth's fate shifted. Humanity was no longer dealing with an empire. They were dealing with something far older, far darker, far closer, and it was already on its way. Inside the strange craft, time felt broken. Captain Aiden and Dana floated in the stillness while the ancient voice continued to echo around them. It has found you. Aiden tried to keep his voice steady. What is this hunter? A ship? A creature? Silence answered him first. Slow, heavy, cold. Then the voice spoke. It is neither. It is a cycle. A force born from dead galaxies. It consumes stars, civilizations, empires. It leaves no survivors. Dana's breath shook. And now, it's coming here? Yes. Outside the craft, Earth's military watched the glowing ship grow brighter. It spread soft waves of light across space, each pulse stronger than the last. General Ryan stared at the readings on the screen. Mira whispered, Sir, this isn't an attack. It looks like a beacon. Ryan froze. A beacon? For what? On the screen, the mysterious craft sent out another pulse, strong enough to shake every satellite around Earth. Ryan clenched his fist. Whatever it is calling, we are not ready. Back inside the ship, Aiden tried to understand. Why warn us? Why help us? The voice shifted, becoming softer. Because we were like you. Brave, curious, proud. And we also believed we were safe. Until the hunter arrived. What happened to your people? Aiden asked. We fought. We lost. Our worlds fell in one silent night. We built this craft to escape. Only one survived me. Dana swallowed hard. You're the last one? Yes. Aiden felt the weight of those words. A species reduced to a single survivor. A single craft. A single warning. What do we do? He asked. The voice answered with chilling certainty. Stand together. Your strength is not your weapons. It is your unity. The Empire fell because they fought alone. Aiden frowned. But we cannot fight something that destroys stars. You are not expected to win, the voice said. You are expected to survive long enough to evolve. Dana asked quietly, Evolve into what? Into something that can face the hunter without fear. Aiden didn't understand, but he didn't need to. Not yet. Suddenly, the ship around them began to hum. The frozen space shifted. The entrance behind them opened again. The voice spoke. I will give you a gift. A shield of my people. A weapon of light. Use it when the sky turns red. Aiden asked, Red? When the hunter arrives, your sun will dim. Your sky will bleed. You must be ready. Before Aiden could ask more, the ship pushed them out gently. Their shuttle drifted backward. The black entrance closed like it had never existed. Dana breathed shakily. Aiden, what now? He looked at the glowing craft. Now, we go home. As their shuttle moved away, the mysterious ship began to change shape. Its smooth surface formed new lines, shining brighter, sharper, more alive. In Earth's command center, alarms exploded. Mira shouted, Sir, the unknown craft is transforming. Ryan took a step closer to the screen. What is it doing? The craft unfolded sections of its hull, revealing ancient patterns that pulsed like beating hearts. Rings of energy spun around it, silent but terrifying. Then, it spoke to all of Earth. Not through radios, not through screens, through every mind. People of Earth, prepare. The hunter is near. Millions heard the same voice at the same moment. Millions felt the same chill run through their bones. And far in the deep void, something moved. A large shadow crossed a distant star. The star dimmed, then died. Ryan stared at the incoming data. God! Something just took out a star in seconds. Mira whispered, Is that the hunter? Before she could finish, the mysterious craft sent a final message across the skies. Remember my words. And in a bright flash, the craft vanished. No explosion. No trail. It simply disappeared like a dream waking up. Aiden and Dana's shuttle finally reached Earth's orbit. The planet looked peaceful, but fear hung above it like a storm cloud. Aiden contacted the command center. "This is Captain Aiden. We need to talk. The warning is real." Ryan replied with a heavy voice. "We know, Captain. The entire planet heard it." Dana looked at Earth below them. "Do you think we can survive?" Aiden whispered, "We don't have a choice." 4 hours. Leaders from every nation, every base, every station gathered. They prepared defenses. They powered old systems. They formed the first united command in human history. Because now, it wasn't Earth versus Empire. It wasn't humans versus aliens. It was life versus the hunter. And then, on the edge of the solar system, something appeared. A dot. Tiny. Still. Cold. But growing larger. Every scanner screamed. Mira whispered the words no one wanted to hear. "Sir, the sky is turning red." Aiden felt his chest tighten. "The hunter, it's here." Earth took a breath. The real war was about to begin.